Welcome to the Silhouettes of Success podcast with your host, successful entrepreneur, broker, and business mentor, Amber Weitzer. Because success comes in all shapes, sizes, and styles, the Silhouettes of Success podcast is shining the light on industrious women with a collection of curated conversations of intentional inspiration designed to inspire your heart, ignite your mind, feed your soul, and gift you with actionable insights directly from inspirational, everyday women who've shown tenacity, grit, and grace, having taken on the challenges in their lives and business and won. Remarkable, down-to-earth, and relatable, Amber and her guests will share with you uplifting and extraordinary real-life success stories, motivational ideas that just might help spark something within you. With the deepest desire to serve you, help you grow so you can begin to shine the light that will illuminate your very own silhouette of success. So, let's get to it.
Hello and welcome to the Amber Weitzer podcast, Silhouettes of Success. Our V.I.P featured guest is a top 50 global change management thought leader, TEDx speaker, and international management consultant who transforms organizations to enable them to better respond to the changing environment. Often the only stiletto in a room full of flats, she has worked with the biggest names in mining, engineering, and technology. A change and transformation expert for a decade, she's led programs influencing up to, listen to this, Silhouettes, 23,000 people across 6 of the 7 continents. Silhouettes, let's welcome Friska Wirya to the show. Hello, Friska. How are you?
Hi, Amber. I'm well, thank you. Great to be here.
Well, thank you. It's wonderful to be with you today as you share, I always say, a portion of your Silhouette of Success story. So once again, welcome.
Thank you.
So it's always great to maybe set the stage a little bit and allow you to share a little bit about your background and the early shaping of your Silhouette of Success with the audience.
Sure. So what I do today, change is my middle name, change is my business card. I help very large organizations to change. So I've only been doing this for a year, and it's because I started off in management consulting because that's what I thought I wanted to do. I was living in California at the time. I was on scholarship to USC, and one of my favorite professors, somebody that I looked up to, had spent his career consulting to Fortune 500 companies all around the world. And I thought that's what I wanted to do. I said, how do I get there? And he said, do your MBA, join a boutique consulting firm and work your way up. So that's exactly what I did. But after a few years, I felt really unfulfilled. And as timing would have it, I went back to Australia after a few years in the US. And it was only then change management, actually managing change, was recognized as a discipline. And it intrigued me. It played to all my strengths, communication, developing rapport, establishing trust, engaging with people from all different cultures. And so I took a big bet on myself and I took a 40% pay cut and started from nothing. So I started as a change analyst and I just worked my way up with unwavering dedication and laser-like focus. And fast forward 7 years later, I was the youngest GM of change for the biggest gold miner on the ASX. So it shows that, you don't have to be great to make a start, but you do have to make a start in order to be great.
What a leap of faith for you. Courage. Amazing. What an exquisite journey and story. Talking through your days, we all as women, typically we will see what you have going on and your journey and how you do it all, and sharing any best practices just on the daily with the audience. The alarm clock goes off and your work or business day begins. What would a day in the life look like for you? Are you very structured with routine? Are you more spontaneous?
I would say I probably structure 50% of my time and the other 50 I leave it open because there are some commitments that I cannot move. For example, consulting clients, when I have steerco meetings, when I have workshops, they are immovable. But everything else, I can flex. So a typical day for me is I get up around 8 o'clock, and first things first, coffee. When I'm drinking my coffee, I live very close to a lush national park. So there's always a nice greenery around. I maybe take 5-10 minutes to chill, and then I start going through my emails, seeing what came in through the night, responding to Slack messages to my team. And then I just remind myself on what the day that I've got. So usually I'll jump into some Teams calls, some Zoom calls. I'm a big believer, not in ABC, always be closing, but ABC, always be connecting. So I usually connect with 1 to 2 high value people each week. So people that I want to establish a closer relationship. They could be from LinkedIn, they could be from another networking event. And then I allow some time for creativity. So I'm currently working on a 3-dimensional change management role-playing game in conjunction with a video games developer. And I'm also turning my TEDx talk into a book. So, and my one other baby that I'm working on is that I have a 1-day workshop called Igniting Influence, and I've partnered with Women Leaders Institute here in Australia for 3 years in a row. So I'm their 1-day workshop facilitator. It's always got incredible reviews, and I want to offer this to more women around the world. So I'm currently turning that into an online course. So yeah, a mix of structure and a mix of creative work.
How thrilling. All of these, you called them your babies.
Yeah.
All of these amazing
I don't have children, you see. I don't have kids or pets.
Yeah. And they do. They turn into your babies, don't they?
Yeah,
oh my goodness. And you don't just have one, you have several. So you absolutely struck my curiosity with the role-playing game. What does that look like? Without giving away any goodies, of course.
Yeah, sure. So the first module off the bat is leading change, because the past 2 years, I mean, everything's changed, right? The way we work, the way we live, the way we parent, the way we learn, the way we create value. But yet no one has told us how to lead people through change. And this is a role that leaders struggle with most, because you don't learn about this in school, but it's become more important than ever. So it's about what are the roles of an effective change leader, because it's not just the competence. It's the competence, it's the charisma, and it's the character. So those 3 combined, how do you make sure they are interdependent and flowing through how you lead people? So it's got different scenarios like, role-playing what an effective leader would look like, and then role-playing how not an effective leader look like. So the context is going to be in a group situation. So that's one example. Another example would be kind of like choose your own adventure. So I remember when I was in my teenage years, I used to read books where they would give you a choice of the decision that you would take. For example, you enter this house. If you want to go down this alleyway, turn to page 65. If you want to go up the stairs, turn to page 105. So I'm applying that same logic. So getting people to own and co-create their adventure, but related to leading and managing change in their businesses.
How absolutely exciting. Does it just keep you engaged even more so, watching all of this progress unfold in front of you, your vision?
It does, because I never thought I was a creative person. So my business is new. It's less than 3 years old. I left corporate because, to be frank, I was burnt out. I was sick of being the only woman, the only one from a minority, the only one under 40. And I just thought, my God, there must be a better way. I wanted more control, more autonomy, more flexibility. I wanted to be able to pick and choose where, when, and how much I worked. And so November 2019, when my contract came up for renewal, I decided not to renew it. And it was a very big decision for me, because back then I thought I had, quote unquote, I've got my hands in inverted commas, made it, because I was the youngest GM. I was making a ton of money, flying all around the world, but I felt really empty inside. And so I thought, if I don't do it now, I'll always wonder what if. And I don't want to look back 10 years from now and wonder what the path less traveled would be like. And it was very different because after you've spent so long in corporate and suddenly you're now architecting your own day, your own week, your own month, you need those kind of checks and balances in place to keep you on track. Like there's no meetings, there's no pressure, like it's all self-induced pressure, let's put it that way. So yeah, it took a while to get my creativity back because I'd been, in such a conservative, male-dominated corporate world for so long.
The programming of it, the structure and the
It is very
programming
much
of
reprogramming. Yeah.
Mhm.
Yeah,
Yes.
for
Oh my
sure.
goodness. Oh my goodness. And it's so intriguing to hear you talk through reflecting back on your journey. It's just you're I guess articulating such a straightforward outlook, and it's just, but you can hear how exciting all of the excitement behind that. Wow, good for you. As you started down this chapter, if you will, this
Yeah.
phase of your more recent Silhouette of Success journey, did you have anyone that helped support you or influence you to go for it?
Um,
Talking back about your contract, expiring.
yeah. Well, see, this is the thing. When all my girlfriends, all my close friends were the same. They were all in the corporate world, and they're very senior ladies, in banking, in finance, in whatever industry they're in. They're very accomplished. And I found that I had to find new support because when you're used to in the corporate world, you're used to seeing linear results, right? Every month your paycheck goes in without fail. So every month you see that number going up, going up, going up, your bank balance. But when you're a business owner, it goes up and down. And when it goes down, you feel like an absolute loser because you're
Yeah.
not used to seeing it go down. Like I'm used to seeing massive jumps, every month. And so, to be frank, they meant the best for me, but they weren't
Yeah.
helpful because after 3 months they were saying things like, are you sure this is the path for you? Like you can always go back to the corporate world. You've given it a go, da 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 da. But once I started seeking out other people who had walked the same path that I was walking on, I felt a lot better about myself. So now my closest circle of girlfriends, they're all badass business women. They cheer me on, they cheer me up, they help me gain perspective, and they motivate me when it feels like putting one foot in front of the other is so damn hard sometimes.
Yes. Cheer, cheer.
Mm.
Oh, goodness. Talking through a portion of that, um, how do you, and again, we're always excited to hear best practices and things that have worked from those that have maybe gone before us, or if one of the audience members is in a place of just conflict and stuck. How do you break down a seeming barrier that seems be between you and a goal or a dream? What works for you?
So if I don't know how to resolve it, I try to find someone who does. And I just remember that some of the biggest breakthrough successes were born out of really adverse times. Like Netflix nearly went under. Lego was the same. And even people, the likes of Steve Jobs, the likes of like all these people who have seemingly made it. I mean, they all struggled sometimes. And just remember that, maybe you may find yourself in a situation that keeps repeating over and over again. You may not feel like it, but you've got a choice. You can either evolve or repeat. If you keep on repeating, you're going to be faced with the same situation, the same challenges, the same issues, the same toxic people, the same shit, just a different day. But if you choose to take the path less traveled, if you choose to evolve, to adapt, to change your thinking and thus change your behavior, I'm not going to sugarcoat it. It's not easy. You will move beyond your comfort zone. But then again, what growth isn't? So if it's something you've never done before, find your support network and get help that way.
Love that. Talking through the support network, and then you mentioned the amazing news circle that you have of your badass women, and then you
Yeah.
also a lot of connecting here because you also mentioned earlier about making it a point to reach out and connect to high value, right? High value
Yes.
individuals, whether it's on
Yeah.
LinkedIn. So because you have that, I guess, scope, you have that figured out for yourself. What would you say, or, where do you find these groups? Where do you find these groups of the women? For those that might be out there, maybe squirming.
Oh,
Like, how do you approach that? How do I find her? How do I find that group of women? Where are they?
right.
Thoughts?
So
Yeah.
let's see. Let me have a think how I did this. You know what? What a point that I wanted to make is that it only takes one. If you find the right high value woman and you really align with her and you really get along, she will open up her network to you. And that is what happened to me. Believe it or not, I met this high value woman who's like dominating the Web3 space. She's one of my closest friends. Shout out to Belinda. I met her because many years ago, we were trying to find housemates. And I found her on flatmates.com.au. She liked my profile. I liked hers. We went out and had a coffee. And we didn't end up living together, but we kept in touch. And she's always supported me on my journey. And she started her business many years before I did. But because we had that values alignment and we knew what we wanted to achieve and which is the best, like we don't settle, we want the best of everything. And she's opened up her network to me. And now a lot of her friends are my friends too. So don't think you need 50 different women. It just takes one. So my advice for that is to be focused. Be focused on who you're looking for.
Quality over quantity.
100%, 100%.
Yes.
Like people, and that's the same with when it comes to building your personal brand and connecting with people on LinkedIn. You don't need 1,000 new connections every week. You just need a handful. Like I just pick one or two, and then I try to develop relationships with them. And the way to get in front of more eyeballs is to start your thought leadership journey. So start investing in your personal brand. I mean, there's lots of free platforms out there for you to be able to do that. Medium, LinkedIn, e-newsletters, etc. So the best time to start is today. And that's really got my business from 0 to 6 figures in less than 6 months.
Love that. Love that. With everything that you're doing and all of, these great things you're talking about, how do you rest and recharge maybe your mindset after just an emotionally or just exhausting days or projects? What works for you?
Yeah. Well, I am a woman, so retail therapy never fails me.
All right. I knew we would be good friends.
The people that say money doesn't buy happiness, they clearly don't know where to shop, and I do. So
Yes. Oh, good for you.
So in all seriousness, I do like a bit of
Yeah.
retail therapy. I love going to the spa, so going into the hot tub, going to the sauna. I'm a big believer in massage, so I get that done fortnightly. Traveling is also something that really refills my mental health cup. So, for example, from next month, I'm out of here for 2 months. So I'm traveling for 2 months straight. And then when it comes to like daily recharging, I'm quite introverted by nature. So, after the bulk of my calls, which are business hours, I'll often just sit quietly with a cup of tea. And just keep my thoughts to myself. Yeah.
Well, that works. Oh, that works. And I can see it's such a great, you had me just relax thinking about what you're doing, thinking about what works for you. You've got so many great, again, the forward thinking and the progress and the momentum and the reasons you're going for it and you're doing what you're doing. What positive adjustments could you maybe identify that you've made in your life or environment that support such growth, these projects and your goals?
The positive adjustments would be to keep on chipping away. And just because you don't see the whole staircase, it doesn't mean you don't take the first step. And it comes from really being open and realizing that not all meetings and contacts will turn into something. you have to separate the winners from the woeful, and that takes time. It's not going to come overnight. So I really had to be patient with myself and don't get disappointed and give up just because, for example, if I go to a networking event and I expected to meet A, B, or C kind of people and I don't, it doesn't mean I don't go again. It just chalk it up to experience and then you just keep going.
Amazing. Let's talk about your company. I want you to share everything you want to share with the audience. Such expertise in all the different, looking through your bio was amazing, awe-inspiring. Who would be in our audience, or who are you looking for? Who would be an ideal client for you?
So my business is split into consulting, speaking, and facilitating workshops. So for my consulting, I provide change management consulting services, and it's anyone that's wanting to accelerate their organization to pivot from A to B. And when I say pivot, it could mean a significant digital transformation. It could mean they need alignment at the very top of the leadership echelons at board level and C-suite level. It could mean they're going through a merger and an acquisition and they need to integrate two different company cultures, two different company systems and policies. So whatever it is, it's a significant change in the way the business operates. In terms of speaking, there's 3 topics I speak about. I speak about future fitness. I speak about life lessons from a change manager, and I speak about digital transformation. So those are quite broad topics, and that's future fitness is what I talk about at TEDx. And I'm currently in conversations with Louis Vuitton, funnily enough, to talk about that at their leadership offsite. And last but not least, the workshops. My signature workshop is Igniting Influence, and I've rolled that out at Salesforce, at Microsoft. So these are really giving people those relational fundamental skills that won't serve you wrong no matter where you go or what degree you've got, because it's the kind of skills that keep on giving back to you. So the fundamentals of effective communication, how to increase your persuasiveness through the things you say, and how to articulate a really compelling 60-second pitch, and that framework that you can use and adjust to tailor to you as an individual, your job, your team, or your business.
Well, Silhouettes, you heard her. So she's got the secret formula. So we'll, at the end, we'll allow you and we'll make sure, and I've got all those links to put in the resource section, but I want you to share them with the audience. But sounds like we've got some educating to do for ourselves. We have some great opportunities there. You talked a little bit about life lessons. So this next question might be more of a 2-part question. Was there ever a specific point in time, event, or key situation in your professional life, maybe it's expanding on something you've shared with us, that did force you to take a monumental shift within your business or career? And positive or painful, how did going through that help you grow?
Oh, I mean, definitely painful would be everybody went through it. COVID with a capital C.
Right.
So Australia was the longest country to be in lockdown, except China, obviously. Like it was really long. It was 2 years. We were stuck here. We couldn't go anywhere. Very draconian measures. We couldn't travel more than 5 kilometers beyond our homes. I think 5 kilometers is 1.8 miles or something. So it's not very far. And so when all the borders shut, I had only started my business 2 months ago. And it was like the lights had been switched off. No one was hiring consultants. Ironically, even though it was the most change we'd ever seen in our lifetimes, people were not spending money on change management consulting. So the biggest pivot I had to do there was to think, how am I going to create value? How am I going to monetize me? What's in my brain, my IP? And I started thinking, I used to run lunch and learn sessions in-house for the companies that I worked in, for Worley, for Newcrest, for Fujitsu, all these big companies. And I'd always received such amazing results. And so I thought, who are other people that have done this and what have they done? And so I admire people like Dory Clark, Tim Denning, James Clear. These people have built an entire ecosystem around them. not them and a team, but around them. And that's when I started to offer masterclasses to the world, to the public. And that's really what got me to where I am today. I had to be more creative with how I monetize me. So that's why I've diversified from consulting into speaking, into workshop facilitation, into coaching, into personal branding. So yeah, you just have to kind of remove yourself from what you think is your traditional bread and butter.
We've heard all of these amazing things, like you just shared, that you are doing and expanding on and investing in, just reinventing yourself to position for best success, and all of those great opportunities that you were able to see a path forward. So, when do you feel you were at your best, or do you have something that you'd want to elaborate on as far as favorite accomplishment or accolade or achievement? Share with us.
Yeah, yeah. So in 2023, I'm working towards productizing what I do, because what I'm finding is when you have a really strong personal brand, you've got all these accolades and people refer you business and people start reaching out to you directly, and it's, quite senior people in large organizations. It's happened to me a few times where I'm at capacity. There's only so many clients that I can handle, especially if they're large organizations. And I try to introduce somebody else into the conversation, and they get actually quite upset. They feel like they're gypped, and their response is, no, I reached out to you. I don't want to be introduced to your 2IC or someone else that you recommend. So because I know that, I'm productizing me. And that's why I'm building all these digital products, whether it's games, whether it's a workshop in a kit pack that people can facilitate their own lunch and learns with. So that's what I'm focused on. And I've also been approached by an augmented reality learning company to turn me into an avatar so I can run consulting and workshop sessions in the metaverse. So that's in progress as we speak. I'm expecting my draft avatar by the end of the month.
Okay, seriously, an avatar? No, tell me more.
No, no. And I told them, you better Photoshop my wrinkles out. I won't be impressed otherwise.
Okay, come on. We know that you do not need any editing. Come on. Tell me, Tuck, are you kidding me? Oh my gosh, glamour lady.
give me a tummy tuck while you're at it.
Well, you want to make sure, of course, that they put you or your avatar in stilettos and not no flats. No flats or sneakers, stilettos, right?
Yeah.
Oh my gosh. You're making my cheeks are hurting. Okay. So moving on for a second, and in thinking about things that inspire and uplift you, resources. We love to share resources with each other in collaboration for motivation and uplifting and success. Do you have a favorite, whether it be an author, a book, or a genre, whether it's another resource that you'd like to share with the audience that does help give you that extra oomph when you're looking for it, or motivation? What would you like to share with us?
I have been obsessed with Esther Perel for a very long time. I'm one of her biggest fans. She's actually in Sydney in 2 weeks' time, and I'm seeing her talk at the Sydney International Convention Centre. So I binge on her books and her podcast. She has a few. What I like about her is that she has the right balance of wisdom and practical advice. So if you want to expand your mind, build your relational skills, think of things from a different perspective, and really understand, the complexity and the interdynamics between relationships, Esther Perel for sure.
Well, then Esther it is. That sounds like a ringing endorsement, to be sure. Friska, we all have the promise here, and really working to help intentionally inspire each other through, whether it be a favorite quote, whether it's a passage or words of wisdom or inspiration or anything that maybe you cling to or that has resonated with you that you, maybe it's something brand new. So what intentional inspiration would you like to share and impart on our audience?
It's really some things that I wished I knew a decade ago. So, and it's the fact that we don't realize when we're in a funk and we need to get out of that. So for example, we say you have $86,400 in your bank account, right? That's a lot of money. Someone somehow steals $10 from it. Would you be so enraged that you throw away the other 86,390 and focus all your energy on getting back at the person who took it? We wouldn't, right? We'd shrug our shoulders. We'd say, oh, I pity them. We'd get over it. I mean, it's $10 for God's sake. But you see, we all have 86,400 seconds in each day. And often we let someone's 10 seconds of negativity ruin the rest of the 86,390 seconds. It could be someone cut into you in traffic. It could be someone pushed you in the shopping mall. Whatever it is, don't let these minuscule moments in the grand scheme of things cause you to armor up and waste your energy on people who did you wrong or situations which didn't go your way. Because at the end of the day, life is short. So make it, live it, and enjoy it.
That was beautiful. Friska, hate to do it, but as we begin to wrap up, I want to always help promote and share you as much as possible with our audience because we love great connections and to continue the collaboration even offline. So where can our audience go to find and connect with you and support you in your continued success? The stage is all yours. You share contact information, share your socials, whatever works for you.
Brilliant. So you can connect with me on LinkedIn. It's linkedin.com/in/Friska, Friska. And my website is freshbyfriska.com. And there is a contact form there if you want to get in touch, inquiring about some of the services that I offer.
Outstanding. And as I always like to remind everybody and our Silhouettes of Success VIP feature guests that your contact information and anything you've shared with us will be included in the resource section of the show notes. So it's so easy to connect. Friska, once again, thank you so very much. You are a genuine light. It's fantastic to speak with and get to know even better. And it was such a good time. Again, my cheeks are still, it's a good ache. It's a good ache. So once again, thank you so much for sharing your Silhouette of Success with us.
Thank you, Amber. Have a great day.
Thank you for joining us on this episode of the Silhouettes of Success podcast. If you enjoyed the show, make sure you subscribe so you don't miss out on all the new episodes. We are here for you and with you. We encourage you to share this podcast on all your socials and pass on the light to help illuminate another silhouette of success. To find out the latest ways to inspire your heart, ignite your mind, and gain actionable insights, subscribe at thesilhouettesofsuccess.com or connect with us on Facebook, LinkedIn, and Instagram. We're grateful that you tuned in. Remember, you are exactly where you need to be, right here with us. This is the Amber Weitzer podcast, Silhouettes of Success.